most dominant superpower in sports isn't a team. No, it's not the Warriors, Lakers, Chiefs, or Dodgers. It's actually a group so powerful that it makes billions every year, attracts the best talent in the nation, and has singularly dominated a sport for decades. It's the SEC. And in the past 20 years, the Southeastern Conference has won 70% of all college football national championships, including the last 4 titles. They get all the top recruits year after year, land massive sponsorship deals, and no one expects their run to stop anytime soon. But the big question is, what is the SEC doing that every other NCAA conference isn't? If you think you know, think again. We'll reveal the secret behind the SEC's incredible run and how they became an unstoppable superpower on and off the field. An SEC team has won the College Football National Championship in 13 of the past 17 years, including the last 4 years in a row. The SEC has been the gold standard in college football, and their dominance isn't anything new. The conference boasts 30 total national championships since 1936, the most of any conference. And as you can imagine, their on-field excellence translates to off-field financial success. In the 2021-22 season, Georgia brought in an absurd $155 million in revenue, the most in the SEC, and the second highest in the entire nation, only behind Texas. Alabama, who's won 6 titles of their own since 2009, raked in $127 million in revenue in 2021. Good for second in the conference. As a whole, the SEC made $1.13 billion in revenue that season, had 13 of their 14 schools make a bowl game, and in a year when the NCAA had only 10 total schools, crossed the 100 million mark in revenue. The SEC had 4 of them. But what does the SEC do with all that money? They actually have a revenue sharing agreement where they distribute it back to their schools. Of the $1 billion, about $700 million was given back to the 14 universities, averaging about $50 million per school. That money is then used by each program on initiatives like giving scholarships or building more academic or athletic facilities. All this revenue isn't just coming from the SEC's dominance on the field, though. In 2008, the SEC signed a massive TV deal with ESPN, worth $2.25 billion over 15 years. But that's not the SEC's only TV deal. They actually already had a 15-year deal with CBS, worth $825 million, that shows an SEC game of the week every Saturday. The ESPN deal covers every other SEC home game in the season, ensuring schools like Alabama, LSU, and Georgia would be on TV sets plenty throughout the nation. While the deals would run through 2024, ESPN and the SEC reached a new 10-year agreement in 2020, worth a whopping $3 billion. Starting in the 2024-25 season, ESPN would have the rights to premier SEC football games and marquee basketball matchups that would air on ESPN or ABC throughout the year. But even more, ESPN stole the game of the week from CBS. Reportedly, ESPN-ABC had the highest bid and will pay the SEC $330 million per year for the remainder of the CBS contract. That's more than 5 times the amount CBS was paying per year. In a 2015 study analyzing watch time during bowl games, the SEC was found to be the most watched conference. The rabid and loyal fan bases of a lot of these schools is one reason why ESPN will pay handsomely to have their brands attached to the conference's biggest games. But the money doesn't just come from TV. The SEC has sponsorship deals with big names like Gatorade, Allstate, Dr. Pepper, Mercedes-Benz, Pfizer, and T-Mobile. But perhaps the most mysterious source of money is from boosters. And recently, with boosters able to broker NIL deals with athletes directly, having a strong array of boosters means even more. Alabama, for example, boasts Paul Bryant Jr., the son of legendary coach Bear Bryant. Paul is a successful businessman, sits as president of Alabama's Board of Trustees, and has donated over $20 million to Alabama football. At Auburn, they have Jimmy Rain and Bobby Lauder as its mega boosters. The CEO of a wood company, Rain has a net worth of $1.2 billion, while Lauder has donated over $20 million himself and is paying the university at least $10 million for the naming rights to a building in Auburn's business school. Over in Georgia, they have Don Lieben Jr. The owner of a large alcohol distribution company, Lieben has donated over $7 million to the school and is also a university regent. So all of this incoming money, either from boosters or from massive TV deals, do have an impact on the SEC's visibility and publicity. And one huge ripple effect is in recruiting. High school players looking to commit to a college football program know that SEC schools will be on national TV more often than any other conference. And knowing that SEC schools are well-funded and well-backed by their boosters and collectives, high schoolers flock to the Southeastern Conference. In the class of 2023, 44 of the top 100 high school recruits have committed to an SEC school. In the class of 2022, 49 of the top 100 headed to the SEC. Even in the upcoming class of 2024, 5 of ESPN's top 10 ranked high schoolers have already committed to Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, or Texas A&M. To truly understand the talent in the SEC, you'd need to look no further than NFL rosters. In the 2022 season, there were 369 former SEC athletes on an NFL roster, the most of any conference, which includes stars like Matthew Stafford, Trevon Diggs, Nick Chubb, Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry, Darius Slay, and Myles Garrett. Alabama alone had 58 players in the NFL in 2022. Not only is that the most of any university, Alabama has led the nation for the most players on NFL rosters for 6 straight years. If you want to zoom out, the utter dominance of the SEC can be seen in a cycle that isn't bound to stop anytime in the near future. The SEC, which is attracting the best talent in the nation and winning championships, is able to land massive TV and sponsorship deals. The absurd amounts of money the SEC brings in from those deals and from boosters then attracts the best recruits out of high school, leading to more elite teams, more championships, and more massive TV and sponsorship deals down the line. College football uses the term Power 5 to describe its 5 biggest conferences, but in reality, it should just be the Power 1. It's just the SEC ruling over the college football world. And until other conferences can land the same level of talent and money, everybody else will be playing catch-up for years to come. So which conference, if any, has the ability to overtake the SEC as the most dominant conference in college football history? Also, do you think factors such as climate and culture have anything to do with the SEC's college football dominance? Or do young players think that the SEC is the best path to the next level? Let us know in the comments section below. And please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching.